My name is Elizabeth Greenwood. So I've been at the college for nearly 2 years now as the Senior Lecturer of Naturopathy. Not all roads lead to clinical practice. Okay, some of you will absolutely adore clinical practice and you'll love it and you'll love treating people and it'll be great for you. But it's a very, very fast growing industry, as you know. There's plenty of statistics around to show you, what the natural medicine industry and profession is doing these days. It's rapidly growing. And with that, there are many job options available. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to create a little bit of a mind map. That's just the easiest way to do it, really. This is the wonderful world of natural medicine. So, clinic. Okay, so with clinic, what kind of clinic? Now that's great, a multimodality clinic. So what would be an advantage of working in a multimodality clinic? So we've got referrals here, don't we? And I'm going to put resources here as well. Resources are something, not only equipment, you've got the people, the books, the knowledge. Now reception is actually not a bad job for you to do for a while. Why do you think that is? I mean, you've got experience upstairs when you go to clinic, but why do you think reception could be a good option for you?
You get to know how the system works.
Yes.
So just how accounting is done, the actual, just everything behind the scenes basically.
Exactly. Extremely important for your own business, right? A lot of you, I saw on your faces, a reception. When do you want to do a reception? But you can actually get a lot of experience as to how a clinic runs. If you think about it, if you're in a clinic and you're practicing in that clinic, all you see is the patients in front of you and the people you interact with and the things that you ask to get done. But if you're on reception, just imagine it, you're on reception, you get to see how the patients are treated, you get to know how the systems work, how the accounting works, how the dispensaries run, how the referral system works, even things like how the towels get washed, the cleaning and everything like that, like how it actually runs. So you can imagine from that experience, when you go to set up your own practice, it's all second nature to you, isn't it? You do learn a lot of how it doesn't work, what not to do as well, which is very important. And it helps you to determine, are they the therapists you want to work for, or if you go into you've worked at that multimodality practice, you can see how it runs. If you want to be a therapist but you want to work at a different place, then you can walk in there and intuitively you can get a good idea as to whether it runs pretty well. So you can go into solo clinic as well, all right? So you can actually set up at home, can't you? Or you can set up at a location, can't you? And what would be a positive or negative advantages, disadvantages of working from home? Saving money, yes. In rent, so you've got that time that you can actually spend building up your client base, absolutely. And I think we're lucky within this profession as well that it is kind of expected. People don't mind turning up to your home to get some healing. What are some disadvantages of that?
Safety issues.
That's right, safety issues, absolutely. Regulations, yep. People to bounce ideas off, absolutely. It is hard to have everything you need on hand, isn't it? Yep. These days there are things like patient ordering systems that you can set up with companies. So you actually have an order form that you write out. Say there's a special product that you don't prescribe very often. It's not in your core range of products. You can actually set up with the company and you actually fill out the product that you need and you give it to the patient and the patient calls up the company and pays the retail price from the company, but the company actually sends you the difference between the wholesale and the retail price. So that works well for products that you don't have on hand. Any other styles of clinic?
Mobile clinic?
Exactly. Yep. Mobile clinic. Okay, so whether you go mobile clinic or anything like that, you can actually, you know, with multimodality, you can be in multimodality, but you could just set up with, you know, somebody else in a partnership if you want to. What I haven't seen enough of is people partnering with personal trainers. Like, that's a really good partnership, I think. And so sort of think outside of what you're doing. What about partnering with a spa? That'd be fun. I've done that a lot. Tough work, that. Swapping treatments, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. So what is it that you're passionate about? Are you interested in skin? Are you interested in, you know, massage, facials, all that sort of thing? What is it that you like to do? And sort of see who you could work with. Any ideas? Chiropractors. What else? Anybody else think of any partnerships?
Cosmetics?
Cosmetics. Yep.
Counsellors?
Counsellors. Yep, absolutely.
Community health centres.
Community health centres. That's great. Okay, so start thinking broader, not just solo clinical practice. Okay, what else can I do here? And definitely start thinking, okay, what about people that aren't therapists? What about corporate? You know, there's a lot of mobile corporate or even solo corporate places. Maybe there's a, let's just, off the top of my head, maybe there's a 3-day seminar that a company is putting on. You could turn up there and do a half-hour or hour presentation on how to look after yourself better in the corporate environment. Yeah? And then you might offer that business, you know, subsidy or frequent. You might offer to go in there once a month for a day and booking clients that way. So that's what I mean. You've got to create this. This is a fast growing industry. It's up to you guys to have these ideas and to create this. Okay, so that's pretty good for clinics. I'll just see if I've got anything else there. Oh, I do. The best ones. Can you read that? Health retreats. Who doesn't want to work in a health retreat? Really? So I've got quite a few friends that work in health retreats. They just go 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week. You can go and do week courses if you like, 3-day events or talks, or a lot of opportunity there for you. Okay? And they're throughout the whole world. And with health retreats, we've got spas as well. Okay, so we're happy with all the different areas of clinic. Now, what else can you do in natural medicine besides clinic? So you'd be looking at products. Nutraceuticals is basically nutritional pharmaceuticals, which is under product. And I wrote product because there are many things to do with that. So you were talking about product development, right? So what we're looking at there is the manufacturing. That's so that would come under here. So under manufacturing, there is compound pharmacy. So you can see how that actually goes through products, yeah. And it can be linked to clinic as well. But I want to look at, it's just a type of manufacturing really, yeah. It's an individualised prescription, but it's still product manufacturing. You're still making a product. At the end of the day, you're making a product for them to take. And it's manufacturing. It's mixing this, mixing that, putting it together. But it's a compounding style of manufacturing.
Is the research under products?
You can add research into products, yes. So I'm actually going to put research here because it's a big arm within itself. But I am going to sort of link it here as well. And we'll come back to that. Okay? So manufacturing. This is an area you guys can work. Yep. You can sort of look at working in a pharmacy, compounding. We'll look at pharmacy in a minute. But manufacturing. Have you thought about that? Behind the scenes product manufacturing. Okay, so you can do self-made company. When we're looking at manufacturing, let's look at that product development. Okay, so the way that a product is made is that you come up, say there's a new ingredient. Okay, there's a new ingredient that's come out and everybody's raving about it, and you think, I want to make a product in this. How are you going to do that? How are you going to go about that? You know, you need to find somebody that can make it for you, don't you? You need to find a manufacturer. These manufacturers have lots of really big machines, lots of quality control, quality analysis. I'm going to link this here. This is where it starts getting a little bit
Knowledge of quality analysis of raw materials.
That's right.
Before manufacturing.
Quality analysis is QA. And then we also have, with manufacturing, we have QC, quality control. Okay, these jobs are very, very important. They actually come under a little thing I'm going to put, no, I'm not going to put it there, I'm going to put it here. They actually come under the TGA, or regulation. Okay, so I'm going to put QC, QA here instead. Okay. So quality control, quality analysis. So quality analysis is making sure that the herbal raw material that you have is what you want. Yeah, that it's got the right phytochemicals, that the vitamins that you have are in the right dosage, that the right amount, the good quality. And the quality control is making sure that each step of manufacture is standardised, that the tablets that you're making and the powders that are making are under strict regulation. Why would you want to do manufacturing, do you think? What would be interesting about it? So you've got the research side of it with the ingredients. You're in touch with what's actually going on, on that level. Manufacturing is really good for people that like quality control, quality analysis. They like things to be in place. They like to see production. They like to see outcome, products being made. But it's also quite creative as well. If you get the opportunity to go around a manufacturing plant, I highly recommend it. Say these vitamins and these minerals that you take, these little tablets, it's like, how do they make them? Yeah, well, they put all the powder into one machine and mix it all up and tablets come out of it? No, there's a whole science behind it. These laws of flowability. And make sure these powders run through these machines. The tablets have to be designed in such a way that they don't disintegrate while sitting on the shelf. But yet they disintegrate in your tummy. How do they do that? Yeah, it's all very scientific and it's very laboratory sort of based, but it's really interesting behind the scenes. With manufacturing, companies like Bioceuticals, like your Blackmores, they actually use manufacturers to make their products for them. So they send them the formulas and the manufacturer sources of raw materials, puts them all together and creates them. Okay? So when you're looking at products, yes, they're manufacturing, but you've got the ingredients and you've got the companies as well. So I'm going to put companies here. Okay, so let's move on a bit from manufacturing. Okay, we can go down the manufacturing area because there's a lot in it, okay, but I want to give you a bit of an overview as to what else is out there. So coming back to companies, what other jobs can you do within companies? We looked at researching new ingredients. What else? Sales. So sales and representatives. Now in a lot of other professions, sales representatives are the same thing. Now with us, we're more educational representatives. All right, we deliver education. Yes, there's a sales aspect to it, absolutely, because they're companies and their products, and there's a sales aspect to everything that we do. Being a representative, you learn a lot. Okay, you're up to date with the latest information, the latest products. Like you were saying, you get to go to all the different seminars, you get to see all the different clinical practices. Good way to experience things, good way to meet a lot of people in the profession. Okay, so that's reps. What else can you do for companies? Pardon? Yes, tech support, that's a good one. So tech support is excellent for keeping your knowledge. A lot of the brochures and technical sheets are based on a lot of research. It's a really good way to get your technical writing skills up, but not everybody's a writer. You do seminars. Seminars, conferences, some of the best fun I've had in this profession is at the big conferences. So it has that really good community sort of vibe about it. It's a really good way to network. If you are looking for jobs and work in a specific area, seminars are a great way to go. Product development, manufacturing, absolutely. So you can do that independently, you can do that under a manufacturer, or you can do that for a company as well. Just think, product development comes with ingredients, with seminars, with technical information, quality analysis, sales. There's a lot involved in it. Now, one of the biggest things I want to talk about is research. Who's interested in research? That's right. A lot of people are interested in research. What area of research are you interested in? What we're trying to do is distinguish, okay, is this the effect of herbal medicine on the body, meaning pharmacology? Echinacea, for example, there's many ways we can study it, okay? We can study the effect echinacea has on the body. So we want to look at how echinacea affects the immune system. We want to study all aspects of the immune system inside the body and how echinacea affects that, okay? So we want to look at the research, we want to look at the pharmacology. Okay? But we also want to see, does echinacea actually really help with the common cold? So we want to study the symptomatology, don't we? We want to get like a group of people together and we want to study how that reduces their signs and symptoms of the cold. Okay? Can you see the distinction that I'm making here? So that's the symptoms. Alright? We also want to study, well, how does echinacea have this effect? What is the phytochemical in echinacea that has this effect? That's my area of interest. What is the active constituent in echinacea that has this effect? So we're looking at the quality of echinacea. What part of the plant is used? Is it the leaf? Is it the root? What? And this can be extrapolated into nutrition as well. Okay? So that would be more quality. When we say quality, we're looking at, okay, what has it got in it that has that effect? But the chemistry. What is it? Why does this product work well and this one doesn't? It's the chemistry in it. So we want to study the chemistry. But that's very different to the effect that echinacea has on the body. Okay? But then I also want to study the how echinacea is used in society. Is it used by pregnant women? Is it used, in its traditional manner in America? How long has it been in the West for? How do we use it in the West? These are all epidemiological studies, aren't they? research, when you say, oh, I like research, but then you also want to do research on everybody else's research. So, yeah, so you want to analyse everybody else's research. You want to do literature reviews. Now within each of those, there's a lot of studies in there. We do case reviews, cohort studies, all that sort of stuff. You can do them through, you can do them through university. Do you want to do university study? Do you want to do university research, sorry? Do you want to do independent research? Now, we're just touching on this. This is just to get you thinking a bit broader than what you were when you first walked in here, okay? Now, if I ask you what area of research do you want to get involved in?
Quite simple. What you're in biochemistry.
Phytochemistry? So you've got a bit more of an idea. So that could be qualitative, could be pharmacology as well. Like what effect does this active constituent or what effect does vitamin C have on the body? Okay? So I want you to just, I'm not asking you to give me a definitive, okay, this is the area of research I'm interested in, but keep this in mind when you're studying. When you hear the word research, go, oh, what aspect of research do I want to do? I can tell you now I'm not really interested in this kind of research. You know, doing those big studies and how many pregnant women take this vitamin, it doesn't really interest me. There's a lot of people it does interest. Excellent, go for it, do it. Do it well, that's great. But what I'm interested in is the quality of herbs. You know, why this herb has this active constituent and what that means, and then this herb also has that constituent. Does it have the same effect? Like eucalyptus and tea tree, similar active constituents, similar antiseptic effect, right? Different smells, they've got other different ingredients in them. That fascinates me. But the people doing these big studies on, you know, what people take, they're not interested in that. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to find out what area it is that you're interested in through your personality studies, through as much self-reflection that you can do. And just kind of go, yeah, that doesn't interest me. And that's okay. You don't have to be interested in all of this. We still haven't finished.
Endeavour College has got an Office of Research as well, so if that is one area after today, definitely go and have a discussion with them.
What other jobs are there? Education! That's a big one. Education, right? What aspects of education are there that you could possibly work in? What do I do? Teach, yeah, lecturing. Yep. Okay, when you say I want to work in education, standing up the front and teaching is one thing. Yep. How you want to do that? Do you want to do that in a formalised classroom? Do you want to do that as workshops? Do you want to do that in seminars? How do you want to do that? Yeah. I'm going to put seminars here as well, even though they're somewhere over there as well. I'm going to put that in here. And classroom. Now, it all comes under education. Another very important aspect of education, which you guys might have experienced, would be administration, right? Student services, all these guys behind the scenes that keep everything ticking over and running. So we've got the enrolments, student services. One aspect of administration and lecturing, it's pretty interesting, is organising the seminars. Who does that? Probably not the person standing up talking. When we're talking education, we're also talking, you know, like these 3-day events. But the people organising, I'm going to call them organisers. I used to help a lady organise the Natural Therapy Trade Expo in Sydney, and like I said, it was a lot of fun. And it was my job to call up all the different companies and offer them a stand, tell them how much they would pay for the stand, they would get involved, what the times were, what the dates were. If they committed to that, it was my job to send them the paperwork and the information, make sure they fill it out, make sure that they turn up the day before, set up their stand properly, that's regulation, I met a lot of people doing that. I met a lot of people, and sure enough, if there were any jobs coming up, I'd be one of the first people that would hear about it. Anything else in education? Course writing. I've done a lot of course writing for independent colleges, as well as, you know, obviously I'm employed here, so I do course writing for some of the courses here. You can also write educational material for conferences independently. Okay, social media and blogs. Good. Let's get on to that. So some people are just natural at it, right? And if you are natural at it, you can do really, really well in it for yourself or also for other companies. You can write you know, social media things for companies or education or all sorts of things. Yep. Any other jobs? Ah, that's a good one. Yep. I'm going to put that under TGA. Okay? The regulation. What can you do for the government? But regulation, a lot of people like rules, you know? And even people that are attracted towards natural medicine, believe it or not, like rules and everything to be in place. Now, everything on this board is regulated through the TGA. Right? So that just shows you a little bit how much we need to respect the Therapeutic Goods Administration. To work for the TGA, or even you can be an independent person. So the way this works, if you, as a practitioner, want to make a product, where do you start? A good place to start is with regulatory compliance. You know what I mean. These people can be independent. Okay, I've got some friends that work for a independent person, and what they do is they're kind of like the company between the person who wants to make a product and Therapeutic Goods Administration, and they kind of help with the legal talk and the paperwork and what's actually required from the TGA. Save you a lot of money, time, hassle, things like that. What you get to learn from this, being in this kind of job, would be all the new products and information, what is allowed through the TGA and what's not, exactly how to make a product, the claims that you can make, the excipients that are allowed in there, all sorts of aspects with product manufacture. But the legal side of it, what can be said, what can't be said, it's actually a very, very interesting area to be in. Very interesting. Regulatory. Okay? This one here is a big one. Anyone want to guess what that is?
Is it associations?
Oh, that's another one. No, it's not associations. I'm actually going to join associations to the regulatory. Okay? What can you do for associations? Apart from regulation, which is what they govern. What else do associations do for you guys? The legal stuff, lobbying, you know, a lot of administration, really, isn't it? So when we're looking at it as a job, it's more admin. And I'm going to put here seminars as well, because that's what they do. And a lot of that is actually, like you're saying, representing, but it's more education, isn't it? Educating us as to what we can do and what we can't do. It's regulatory as well. So I'm going to put that under legal, regulatory. That's a good one. I'm going to put that under social media. Good work. So when you say TV personality, what could you do? Could be a guest presenter. We have one of our students who's graduated, who's a regular on the TV, Lola Berry. And the TV, you can do your own radio show. It can be community radio just to get your foot in the door. Yes, you can, absolutely. Tell me about that. That's right, we were talking about community centres, weren't we, as well? That's right, working within your community. Absolutely. Schools. Public health, absolutely, you can get into public health. That's another area you can get into. With social media, what's I going to write? Oh, books. And magazines.
I like creating your own app.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you? Now you don't have to do all of this. You don't have to create your own app, work for association, do your own research and do clinical practice. Do you see where this is taking you? You can kind of go, oh, I just want to do this bit and this bit. And then in a couple of years you might go, yeah, I'm sick of doing that. Now I'm going to do this. Okay, so you can change, but please don't think when you leave here, I've got to be great at everything. Now, what's in that little bubble over there? Anyone guessed it yet?
Pro bono,
Pro bono, tell me about that.
volunteer work.
Oh, volunteer work. That's not in that bubble, but I do like that volunteer work. Now, brilliant for experience. You can do that overseas or you can do it here in Australia as well. There's a lot of work to be done within our communities, isn't there? Okay, I'm going to actually, there's 2 areas we haven't done anything with yet. That's one bubble, and I can't fit the other one,
Oh, well.
but I'm going to try. I'm going to put this one here. 2 bubbles.
Retail?
Thank you. I'm going to put this in this big bubble over here. Okay, just quickly, what types of retail are there?
Health food shop?
Health food shop, that's right. What else? Pharmacy. Anything else? That's one of the key advantages, yeah, is that you get to know all the products really, really well. Okay, it's really good on the job training. You get to think quickly. People come in and ask you questions and you're like, oh, okay. And you have a look. You get the representatives coming and talking to you about the latest information. You get to see how a business runs and you get to walk home at the end of the day and not worry about it. I used to use my job in the retail area. If somebody came in with a cold or flu, you give them vitamin C or something like that and off they went. If they came in again with the same cold and flu or they had something more, then I would recommend that they go and see a naturopath. So I saw my job in retail as a way to funnel people into clinical practice, not just for myself, but to promote natural medicine as a viable profession. So it can be a gateway for a lot of people. This is an excellent opportunity to be able to tell people the values and the benefits of actually getting a proper consultation.
There are a lot of, just to add to that, there are a lot of patients in clinic that I've noticed that have been referred from naturopaths working in health food stores to
Thank
our
you.
clinics.
When I was doing research for one of my assignments, I came across a website that was just an online, like, homeopath retail website, but they had a list of maybe 20 or so practitioners on that site that you could then talk to online and set up appointments with them and stuff. So it was kind of like the retail was the thing that everyone saw, but it was promoting itself at the same time, like promoting the practitioners at the same time. So it kind of used that
Great.
outlet to get clients in.
Great. Excellent. See, so there's always a positive side to what we're doing, okay? And I'll put the website here. What's in that little box there? Or the little bubble? Not really a box, is it? More of a bubble. Something that I always say, if all this gets too much for me one day, this is where I'll be. I'll be on the farm. If you can't find me, I'm in France picking lavender. So you've got farms, so you've got the growing of the herbs, you've got the picking of the herbs, you've got the, so many different areas of the drying, the the farmers. Where would we be with herbal medicine without the farmers? We do, we can't forget about all this aspect. You've got, within this you've got the quality analysis, don't you? Quality control, quality analysis, so many, there's a few other things I want to talk about, but you can imagine all the different areas we can look at with farming. So these jobs, there's a lot of behind the scenes kind of jobs and a lot of in your face kind of jobs, alright? Okay, so red's going to be extroverted and green's going to be more behind the scenes work. This is, people that like to sort of put themselves out there. Seminars, lecturing, all that sort of stuff, yeah. Social media, the blogs, TV, that's a bit out there, isn't it? website. What else? Tell me.
Sales.
Sales, reps, clinic. You know, you're interacting with people. It's not really behind the scenes, is it? Anything else? Retail. What else? Okay. We'll keep going. Behind the scenes. Research. Research is very behind the scenes, isn't it? So you're looking at a lot of these.
Farm. Behind the scenes.
Okay, do you see where I'm going with this? A lot of this product development and manufacturing is actually quite behind the scenes, but then you can also integrate it with the seminars. Okay, so you can do a bit behind the scenes and then sort of step out every now and again, which is what I like to do. It's very hard for me to be on all the time, but a lot of people can do that. All this lecturing. And then the admin is more behind the scenes. Okay? So you get the idea anyway, don't you? Now, any questions? Any comments?
Great. Look at all those options.
That's good to hear.